Alright, so I changed my mind again. The music for Mysterious Surroundings is going to be the timed fade on black. On credit roll, timed fade on black. So I need to put credit roll in front of that. And then the sources are just going to be Legacy, which is a solid background. As you can see, a pretty solid background. Because then that allows us to do several lines with the font, whatever size we want, which I'm going to show you. Click Project Media. We can do several lines going down this list without it moving into another page, which, as I mean here, before here it showed this and then it moved into a whole nother page showing this again, and we don't want the URL to get cut off like that. So we're just going to use a solid background with the text, and and what we would do is if it doesn't fit, we would just use it until it says wikipedia.org. Say the URL was longer than this and it wouldn't fit on the page unless it got too small. Once it says wikipedia.org, we would just click enter to make it a new line and center it, and then X out, and then it does that, and that would be perfectly fine. But in this case, this URL is okay. So that with the multiple sources we have, and then when we run out of, we just start a new one. And then before we can say we are done, we have 2 or 3 more things to do. We need to add the Mysterious Surroundings music again, and I'm gonna take a minute just to find a good spot, and I'm just gonna save the time and pause it. Alright, so I found some good music. So it's gonna look like this. That's speedy. The frame is messed up, but it's gonna look fine. And then that's basically where it's going to end. The last thing that we need to put on this very long video is transitions after every single picture. So, in order to do that, we're going to start here. We're just going to put this line here. We're going to click on this transitions ribbon, and we're just going to look through it and find one. And there's so many of them, you really can't get it perfectly right. So I'm just going to click, hey, barn door, default. Click it on there. X out. And it looked like that one didn't work, which I'm good that worked. That happened because some of them won't work with certain pictures because there's not enough room for the effect. So I'm just going to find another one. This gradient white spiral. Click that. X out. And as you can see, there's a little section here that says G that shows that the transition effect was added. And then once we click play,
Frank and Joe Hardy.
You kind of saw it there. Again, the frames are messed up. So I'll do it for one more. 3D blinds. Again, it's there.
Boys. Edward Streetmeyer was one of the most prolific writers of.
Didn't even show that one. I'll just find another one for the heck of it. We'll look at this new blue stuff. Aluminum sticks. That's there, as you can see, because it shows an N.
Boys. Edward Streetmeyer was one of the most prolific writers of his day.
And it showed it. If I go up here to this preview, it shows the whole thing.
Boys. Edward Streetmeyer was one of the most prolific writers of.
It did the same thing. So even though it did work, I'll just find a new one. Fly away.
Boys. Edward Streetmeyer was one of the most prolific